Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sean here, and welcome back to another episode of the Mets Rebuild. So before we get started, we do have a couple more house cleaning type of things to do. We got to make sure our scouts are the best they can be. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, I'm just kind of OCD about having from top to bottom, East, Central, West, International. That's the only reason I just fired that West scout and hired him back. It is kind of weird, but that's just the way that I like to have it set up. So anyway, the reason we do that, and I need to check something. Okay, good. Scouting, I don't scout. I have that on auto. Just a lot easier. Scouting on my own takes forever, and it's not really worth it. So that's why I just hire the best scouts available, and they kind of take care of it for me. Now we do have some contract extensions, which is the other bit of housekeeping we got to do before we get into this. Brendan Nimmo, I just moved you back to center field, dude. What? Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I did. I moved him to left, then I thought I moved him back to center, but apparently not. Okay, well, that's weird. Is it asking price back to normal now? Yes, it is. Okay, good. So, if you guys don't know, if you guys are doing any of these rebuilds, or whenever you are signing a player to a contract, whether it's an extension or in free agency, if you make their role depth, you see their expectation on the right is platoon, and he doesn't like that I'm saying his role is going to be depth. Obviously, it's not. But if you say it's going to be depth, and then you have them be an everyday player, or they're a star on the team, or even if they're a platoon, for at least the first year of the contract, their morale is going to be higher, so their overall is going to be higher. For some reason, it's got to be a bug or something. But I like to take advantage of it. It only lasts a year, but it's kind of nice. After that 1 year, their expectation on their morale goes back to what they actually expect. So a little bit hard to explain. You might not understand exactly what I'm talking about, but I can kind of show you in a second. So you see how his expectation is platoon. His status is every day, so he's got that high morale. We're going to sign him to, this is actually what I like in a contract for Brendan Nimmo, 5 years, 5.2 a year. We could bring it down to arbitration for just 1.1 million a year, but I just want to go ahead and lock up those 2 years of free agency for really not that much money. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Payout structure, we'll just leave normal. So telling him his role is going to be depth. Let's go take a look at him here. Going to be in center field. You can see his overall already went up to a 77. You see his expectation changed from before it said platoon, now it says depth. So the fact that he is now an everyday player with his expectation being depth, his morale is that much higher. It also helps that his contract is 4.4 million now as opposed to whatever it was before, which doesn't make any sense because this year it's still 575,000. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This game's got some stuff to figure out, I guess, but let's go back to the contract extension. So Noah Syndergaard, I would like to lock him up for 3 extra years of his free agency, but I kind of think we should just go for just buying out the 2 arbitration years at 9.2 mil, and then when he becomes a free agent, we can pay for him then. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Because with Jacob deGrom's contract being 27 mil, it's going to be a little bit tough to pay 2 starting pitchers that much money at once. So we're going to try to lessen that blow a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Edwin Diaz, we're just going to buy out his arbitration years at 1.3 mil and tell him he's depth as well. So, expectation closer, status closer, +5 to his morale. We're going to do this, and let's go ahead and do it right now. Up to a 94 overall now. Expectation depth, status closer, morale up 10. So yeah, that's a pretty nice little workaround there. Gotta be a bug. But it works for 1 year. Zach Wheeler is actually a free agent after this season. So we're going to sign him to a 3-year extension, I think would be good. Hopefully by that time we can have some younger guys come up, maybe take his place. Maybe we can look to trade him at some point. I don't know, but we're going to go 3 years for now. And my dog is whining, trying to get in. 1 sec. Ay. It's like, she wants to go outside, and 5 minutes later, she wants to come back inside, and it's just playing the game of back and forth all day. Anyway, so we're going to sign Conforto to a 2-year extension. Just pay him when the time comes. Yeah, we'll just do that. Rich Hill, not going to sign. Avalon, maybe. We'll see again at the trade deadline. Same with Lugo, but McNeil, we are going to sign. We're going to buy out all of his arbitration years up until he's a free agent. Yeah, let's go and do that. Steven Matz, we are going to extend as well. That's not too bad. For 3 years of free agency, 5.1 a year. And let's actually backload that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Caleb Ferguson, let's also sign up until he's a free agent, 1.9 a year. We're going to backload this as well. Okay. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad he said that because I forgot to backload it. Oops. Okay, Rosario. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Shortstops are expensive. Okay, anyway, 5.7 is what he wants. So let's go ahead and do that. He's probably going to say, yeah. Gotta raise it a little bit. Okay, buddy. There we go. Dominic Smith. Let's just do his renewable years. Rest of these guys, you guys don't really need to see. I'm probably not even going to sign any of these guys to big extensions right now. Most of them are pretty much maybes. I mean, Gessalman will keep around, but Nito will keep around, but they're not important. So, moving on. We do need to set the lineups and the pitching rotation and such. Apparently, they're already set. Interesting. All right, so I don't think I want Rosario leading off. I want McNeil leading off. We can have... Sometimes I have had Rosario second, and I don't think that really works. I think what we're going to do... Oh, actually, I don't like this at all right now. I'm not liking this very much. All right. We could just have Rosario hit second, I guess. I wanted him a little bit further down in the order, but I would prefer to have a little bit of a better lefty-righty balance. So yeah, I think that I'm happy with. So we're just going to go ahead and copy that over here. If it'll work, that'd be great. JD Davis, I do not want you playing third base, my guy. Sorry. So really, this is just the same thing over and over again. I usually don't have like a difference in my lineups between, all the, versus left-handed pitching and versus right-handed pitching, unless a lot of my players really have some bad splits. So, and it's also just a lot easier just to kind of keep everything the same. So those are the lineups. Yeah, I showed you guys Chris Owings. I did sign, these are just some guys that I signed just for depth. I don't think I signed anybody else noteworthy. I don't think. Anyway, have these guys cleared waivers yet? Oh, I need to move him. They have cleared waivers, so we're going to go ahead and send them back to their regular positions. And can get the show on the road here very shortly. All right. Robert Poison, I'm actually going to have the primary second base, secondary shortstop, because we have a couple of good shortstop prospects already. Oh. And you were supposed to be a left. Okay. He is actually a center fielder, but I prefer him in left. Get to send him down to Double A. Down to Double A. Going to you down to Double A. Okay. Just to make sure for the time being that those guys are taken care of, so we can go ahead and sim to the end of spring training. Really doesn't matter. And there is one more player I need to take care of. And you will be a... Oh, you're supposed to be a left fielder too. Son of a bitch. Whoops. All right. Okay, some of these guys I do actually have to remove the 40-man roster. And I'm just going to send them down first. I'd prefer them to be in single A. So let's see. God, we have so many infield. Okay. We have, yeah, we do. All right, so we're going to send down JD Davis. There we go. All right, pitching rotation. Justin Wilson. Poor guy. You should not have been starting. Sorry, buddy. All right. Let's see. I have so many lefties. I think it's just all these lefties in the middle relief roles. Just what it is, really. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and get this going. Get into the regular season. And hello? Okay. There we go. So let's make sure our sponsorships are good. And start the simming. Scouting is on auto. That is good. Oh, actually, sorry. I forgot to do this. We're going to fire Mickey Callaway. I'm tired of him. And I guess I'll sign this guy for... Okay, cool. So we got a new manager. Mickey Callaway. I'm sick of his shit. So on to the regular season. Go ahead and sim up until the draft, and we can see how we do. I do have injuries off, and actually, real quick, let me just make sure that all the players that I want starting are starting. Not, of course. Good thing to check before you get into it. And go. Do the same thing for pitching, even though we really don't have much pitching. Okay, so we're good on that front. You get all these notification things out of the way because they bug me. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here up until the draft. So we're sitting at about 500 right now. My teams usually don't start the year too well. Usually May comes around and we start winning some games. Hopefully that is the case here. I'm kind of expecting that we'll make the playoffs. Oh yeah, see, there's a big winning streak. So we're doing pretty good now. But I'm pretty much expecting that we're going to make the playoffs. I usually do with the Mets. I mean, I don't think they will in real life, but you never know. Let's just take a look at scouting real quick. A whole bunch of blue chip prospects. So I think we're guaranteed a blue chipper, which is nice. Joaquin Smith is kind of meh. Bryant Steele looks fairly solid. Does look pretty good. He's got really good arm strength. Might even be able to play third or short. If he can play third, I might just stick him over there with that arm. There's a whole lot of projects here, which I don't really like. Warren Fairchild, not too bad. He's a lefty. He's got good walks per nine. Definitely an option. My dog is having a meltdown. Good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the draft. All right. So we have the 11th pick, and Bryant Steele, of course, goes number 1. All right. Let's look for a blue chipper. I prefer not to take a round pick. I guess let's just take a look at all these guys. Don't like the hitting stats on that one. That's a closer. Catcher. I'm not really liking the hitting too much, and he is 21. Good fielding. Doesn't really have an arm, though. Ryan Sweeney. Nah. Oh. That's not bad. That's really not too bad. So I think this catcher right here, Rusty Barner, has high injury risk, so his durability is going to be pretty shit. Not that it really matters too much because I don't have injuries on. Wow, this is going to be a long ass up. I'm cutting it. God, I'm just okay. We're going to take Rusty Barner. I'm going to have to try to speed this up, I think, in future episodes, but you guys are just going to have to bear with me for a little bit. I'm kind of just getting back into the swing of things, and this is kind of a new format for me. So looking here, there's no more blue chippers available. We do have a couple of projects here. I'm not really liking them too much. Kyle Brunner, a really good contact. Doesn't really have much defense. Let's see. Oh, wow. He looks pretty good. Really good walks per nine. Bobby Lamb, I think we're actually going to take a chance on here. He was scouted pretty well. Looks to be a pretty good pitcher, hopefully. Okay, Kyle Brunner's still here if we want to do that. Lamont Robinson only has 3 pitches. I don't really like my starting pitchers don't have 3 pitches. A couple more 80 potential projects. Center fielder, decent contact, not much power, good fielding. Good reaction, good stealing. He is a project, and he's 22. Ugh. Is he better by much at all, really, than this guy? No, not really. All right, we're going to take the 18-year-old, also a switch hitter, which is always nice. Moving on to the 4th round. Kyle Brunner is still here. So kind of thinking that he's not going to be all that good. That guy's not going to be that good. There's just no way. They never are, my experience. This guy is 22. I don't know. If I go for this guy, he's a little bit old. Kyle Brunner. I do like Kyle Brunner more. He can definitely hit, so we're going to take him. Defense isn't as important in left field. Maybe he'll turn out to be pretty good. And this guy's still here. Let's just go ahead and take him. The 5th round. Can't really expect to do a whole lot here late in the draft. And, oh, yeah, see, this guy's still here. I'll just take him. Or is it this guy? No, it was this one. I'll take him. He's not going to be good. I'll show you guys. The guys that look like they're really good coming out, they're never that good. Yeah, 76. Oh! Whoa! All right. Starting it off with a bang. Look at that. 99 potential for Rusty Barner with our first ever draft pick for the Mets franchise. We get a 99 potential catcher. That is beautiful. Look at that 18 durability, though. That's gross. That's the only real bad thing about him. I mean, I wish he was 18. If he was 18, I would love it. Durability is still not good, but hopefully it won't matter too much. I mean, It does affect how many games he's going to be able to play in a year, so that'll improve. He's never going to play a full season. I don't even know if he can play 130 games. Kind of doubt it. But overall, this draft was pretty decent. I mean, even aside from Rusty Barner, Bobby Lamb, only a 77 potential, but he looks like he could be solid. Maybe he could be a good long man. Roberto Fabregas, 84 potential, good speed. I think at worst, he can be a base stealing threat off the bench. Should have decent contact, it looks like. He is also a switch hitter, which is nice. Kyle Brunner, only an 82 potential, but he does definitely already have really good contact. Really good durability. The fielding, like I said, isn't really there, but hopefully that'll be okay. The opposite is true for Diego Taveras. He's definitely going to be more of a fielder, I think. Decent speed. Hopefully his contact will develop a bit. Might be able to be, I think, at worst, a backup outfielder. And then Vincent Tan, like I said, the guys that look really good, like they have that high overall already, like 75, 80 overall, and they're 80 potential, they're never good. Let's actually see. Oh, there's another 99 potential. What the hell? I don't think I've ever seen two 99s in the same draft. Are there any others? 95, 98? Wow. This was a really strong draft. Another 98? Oh my God. Another 95 here. This is nuts. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the All-Star break. Jeez, man. That's crazy. All right, Ken Giles gets traded. That's nice. So we're doing pretty well here, 49 and 32-ish. We did just beat Atlanta. I don't know if we swept them. I think we might have. Nobody in the home run derby. We'll take a look at the All-Stars here in a second. And let's get rid of notification. Where are we standings-wise? Wow, we're third. And the Braves are only a few games behind us. This is a pretty competitive division this year. So anyway, let's look at some All-Stars. We don't have any starting pitchers. The Dodgers are doing pretty good, though. Caleb Ferguson, 1.52 ERA. Told you guys. Caleb Ferguson is really good for some unknown reason. I don't know why. He's already up to an 81 overall. Well, it's mostly his morale. But anyway, Edwin Diaz, 3.63 ERA. Does have 21 saves, but ERA is a little bit high for me. Moving on here. Oh, we do have Brandon Nimmo, who I forgot to change his position to left field, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. He's got 17 home runs, tied his career high from last year already. 309 average, really good. OPS of 962, which is nice. Already has a WAR 4.7, should surpass last year for sure, and his potential also went up. So those were only 3 All-Stars, Ferguson, Diaz, and Nimmo. So let's go ahead and go to the trade deadline, see if we want to make any moves. I'm not really sure if I do want to make any moves. Might look to trade like Rich Hill if he's not really doing too good. And I do see that his ERA is about a 5. Okay, I guess we'll look at the lineup first. Jeff McNeil having an amazing year, 339, 16 home runs. Wow. Rosario is actually doing really well compared to what I'm used to for him. Michael Conforto's struggling for what I'm used to. Pete Alonso, first year is usually kind of rough. Whenever I do franchises on my own, I usually bump him up just a little bit because he has been really good for this year. I think he's probably more deserving of a little bit higher contact stats, even power stats as well. Brandon Nimmo, we just saw doing really well. Wilson Ramos having a good year. Dominic Smith, not doing too bad. Christian Villanueva, wow. 8 potential, look at that. Up to an 82, plus 10 to power to left. 322 average, 23 home runs. Wow, okay. And Carlos Asuaje off the bench and as our DH, 289. 2 home runs, not too bad. The bench is even doing pretty good, or at least Chris Owings and Tomas Nido are. And I just noticed we don't have any lefties on the bench, which I guess isn't too big of a deal when our lineup is stacked complete with the lefty-righty splits. Looking at pitching, Jacob deGrom's having a really good year, and Syndergaard's kind of struggling, but he is up to a 97. I think most of that is actually no, it's just the depth to rotation, morale boost. Zach Wheeler, wow, 288, really good for him. Steven Matt's struggling a little bit. Hopefully he can get that ERA down around a 3.5. I'd be happy with. And then Rich Hill, like I said, up near a 5 ERA, 4.83, is down to a 75 overall. It's just going to keep regressing. Not really what I want to see. Bullpen, aside from Caleb Ferguson, Justin Wilson's doing good. Familia's struggling. Diaz is okay. So anyway, we do have some more extensions to look at. Pete Alonso. I guess we can just do a 5-year deal, buy out his arbitration for 4.7. We can go ahead and backload that, I guess, since make a little bit more sense. If he'll just go ahead and accept that, that'd be great. Let's see. Okay, I guess who's the only one? Tomas Nido. I'll go ahead and do that as well. Everybody else not really too worried about at the moment. So let's really quickly look and see if we can trade away Rich Hill, maybe for a bit of a better starter. Kevin Gossman, Kenta Maeda, Scott Alexander. He's a reliever, but he's doing really good. 197 ERA. Any starter? I didn't see any starters in that top part anyway. So let's just quickly take a look here. I'm not really trying to find anybody too expensive. And actually, I have an idea. I have a player in mind already of who I might want. German Marquez. I don't know about this. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to give up some more. And, oh, Raul Alcantara. Oh, that was the guy. That was who I signed. That I didn't show you guys. Raul Alcantara or Alcantara. I don't know if that might be a spelling issue on the roster. Not sure. But he would get the deal done. He is a free agent at the start of the franchise. We might go ahead and do that because German Marquez is actually kind of struggling this year, but is usually really good. Although Kyle Freeland would be a much better get, but of course they can't afford that. Okay. Well. Oh, we can even take out PJ Conlon and throw in like Blake Taylor. All right, you know what? He's locked up for cheap, which I like. And he usually does really well. So I'm going to go ahead and do this trade. I do kind of want to mostly stick to players that I develop myself, if I can, if possible. But we are trying to make a playoff push in a very competitive division. I think we could definitely use another good pitcher like Marquez in the rotation. The bullpen, I think I can live with. It's really not terrible. And I think most of the lineup is actually doing really well. So hopefully we can make a playoff push here. We are second, actually tied for first in the division now. And this video is definitely running along. But you know what? That's okay. We're all getting used to it. So hopefully we're going to win our division here. Really interested. Actually, Luis Gohara. Yeah, no. Not interested. I would like to keep Alexander Palma and Jason Dominguez. Poise. I want to see them actually develop. I feel like most of the time I end up trading them away before they see their full potential with my team. So I'm going to try to not do that this time around. As both of our minor league teams, AAA and AA, make the playoffs, which I guess is nice. But we're definitely going to be winning 100 games here in season number 1. And we went 104, and we won the division. So that's good. Let's take a look. We've got some league leaders. Jeff McNeil in batting average. Jacob deGrom strikeouts. Edwin Diaz saves, and deGrom pitching WAR. Okay, awards. We've got Silver Slugger for Jeff McNeil. Rookie of the Year for Pete Alonso. Gold Glove for Brendan Nimmo. And Cy Young. Back-to-back Cy Youngs for Jacob deGrom. Look at that. 2.55 ERA. 1.1 whip. 20-5 record on the season. Along with 270 strikeouts. That's really good. So let's quickly just go over our stats for the year. Jeff McNeil, you just saw 342 average, 21 home runs. Amed Rosario, 282 average, even better than when we last saw at the AllStar Break. 20 home runs on the year. Definitely had a breakout season for Amed Rosario. Really good to see. Hopefully he keeps that up. Conforto turned it on a little bit in the second half. His potential did go down a little bit, which I don't like to see, but he had a decent year. Pete Alonso, one Rookie of the Year, went up to an 80 overall. Only a 242, but he had 29 home runs. I mean, wow, he struck out a lot. 194. God dang. I mean, Pete Alonso might hit 29 home runs by the beginning of July in real life. So that's what I'm saying. I think he needs a little bit of a hitting boost on the roster. Brendan Nimmo, really good, 284 average with 32 home runs. Potential did go up. Wilson Ramos, pretty solid, 284 average, 25 home runs. Dominic Smith, pretty solid, surprising year out of him, and his potential went down. Makes no sense. 249, 22 home runs, by far. I mean, his first full season in the bigs is by far, better than anything he's shown in the previous 2 years in limited action. Christian Villanueva's potential did go up to an A, is up to an 84 overall, at 290 with 31 home runs on the year. Carlos Asuaje, pretty good off the bench. And, that's right, he was off the bench most of the time, so we did actually have a lefty off the bench. 280 with 2 home runs. Definitely not a big power guy. The bench, Chris Owings played a lot simply because he can play everywhere, all over the field. And he had 15 home runs, hit 300 in 353 at-bats, so that's pretty good to see. Definitely nice having that kind of bat off the bench. Nito actually hit pretty well. Gomez, not too bad. Lagares, not too bad either. So overall, pretty happy with the lineup. DeGrom, we know, was amazing. Noah Syndergaard struggled a little bit for what he should be doing. Definitely prefer to see that ERA down around a 3. I would prefer, obviously, in the 2s. More like a Zach Wheeler type of season with more strikeouts is what I would expect from Syndergaard. But Zach Wheeler, pleasantly surprised, 291 ERA. Really happy with that. Steven Matz, look at that. The man listened. Got his ERA down to a 3.52. Definitely happy with that. And Herman Marquez, I think, got his ERA down a little bit. I think it was like a 3.6. So he kind of stayed around the same, but performed a little bit better once he got on the team. I guess we can just leave him in the 5 spot for now. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Seth Lugo struggled in the second half. His potential did go up to a B, though. Avalon got better. Gesellman got better. Ferguson still dominant year out of the pen. 193 ERA. Really, really good. 103 strikeouts, too. Justin Wilson was really good. Pleasantly surprised by that. 2.65 ERA. Jerry's Familia, again, not the worst, but you would expect better from an 89 overall pitcher. But that's just what I'm saying. The walks per 9, it's just not there. But the funny thing is, it's not there for Justin Wilson either. And he had a 2.65 ERA, and he's only an 84 overall. He was like a 79 at the start of the season. Edwin Diaz, too. What the hell? 3.95 ERA, did lead the league in saves, but yikes. Not the best season out of him. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I know it did run a little bit long, but if you can just bear with me for these first few, I'm going to try to get it under control. I'd rather have them down to, around 20 to 30 minutes. But, getting back into the swing of things, starting a new format. It's all a bit new. Hopefully, I'll be better in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. And if you did, hit that like button and let me know. And also, if you guys are new around here, make sure you subscribe. Like I said at the end of the last one, definitely trying to be pumping out some MLB The Show 19 content. Probably mostly rebuilds, but if you guys want to see any Diamond Dynasty or anything, definitely let me know, because I've got a pretty damn good team on there and really haven't played as much online on there like to. Maybe I can include some of that. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See you in the next